Good day. First of all, congratulations on being selected for a career in the Canadian Armed Forces. I am Corporal George Taran. The purpose of this video is to allow you to familiarize yourself with the various documents required before your enrollment and to show you how to fill them out properly. Please follow the instructions carefully in order to complete the forms properly. Here is some important information before you get started. All signatures must be in blue ink. It is very important to verify the information on each document to avoid any errors. If there is a mistake, please let the clerk at your recruiting center know. Some documents require the signature of a witness. Before I continue, I must read the following part of Section 122 of the following National Defense Act. Every person who knowingly makes a false answer to any question set out in any document required to be completed in relation to the enrollment of the person is guilty of an offense. Now, please open the Protected B information folder you received. We will start with the documents on the right side of the folder. The first document is the CF-92 Pre-Enrolment Transfer Statement of Understanding and Update. This document will be used to review some policies and see if there have been any significant changes since your interview and medical examination. Please review the information in the header, read the content, and then, in the Part D Personal Circumstances, write "No change." If any, then sign and date the document. The next four documents are policies that you must read, sign, and date, indicating that you have read them. If you did your interview in person at your recruiting center, you already signed them. They are A. The Canadian Armed Forces Drug Control Program Policy, B. The Canadian Armed Forces Policy on Alcohol Misconduct and Conduct Deficiency Involving Alcohol, C. The Canadian Armed Forces Policy on Discrimination, Harassment and Professional Conduct, D. Canadian Armed Forces Orders concerning the use of cannabis. The third document is the enrollment offer. Please review its contents. The information in it relates to the offer you received by telephone and email. You should check points A to G, which are the occupation, environment, and enrollment program, the rank, your pay rate, the variable initial engagement, the date of enrollment, the leave without pay if applicable, the course number and dates. When you have finished reading, you must circle whether you accept or decline the offer. Then sign on the signature line at the bottom of the page. The next document is CF-444 Canadian Armed Forces Enrollment Form or Transfer. Check that the following information in the first section is correct. Your service number, the abbreviation is SN. The rank, your given names and surname. In Section 1, Language, check that appropriate language is checked off. In Section 2, Personal Data, verify that all information is correct, including your marital status. If you're in a common law or married relationship with a regular force member, make sure his/her service number is listed in Section 2, Service Spouse SN. In Section 3, Enrollment Form, top right, verify the accuracy of your social insurance number. Also check your trade number under the abbreviation MOSID, the trade title and the enrollment plan. Make sure that the appropriate boxes are checked and the number of years of your variable initial engagement starting on the date of your enrollment. Please sign and date at the bottom of Section 3. In Section 4, Oath or Solemn Affirmation, we have indicated your choice for your swearing in, either an oath with Bible or a declaration without a Bible. Please sign and date at the bottom of Section 4 in the applicant box. Do not sign in the attesting officer field. The fifth document is D&D 2315 Terms of Service. This document is your first contract that indicates the number of years of service expected. Let's look at the Part 1, Offer. Check your service number, your rank, your name, your initials. The start date of your contract that is written on this document should be the date of your enrollment. The termination date is the duration of your contract minus 1 day. For example, your contract is for 3 years. If the enrollment date is May 21, 2020, which is also the start date of your contract, the termination date of your contract will be May 20, 2023. Finally, check that the following note is written: CF Milpers Instruction 05/05 and Variable Initial Engagement. For Part 2, Acknowledgement of Commanding Officer, no action is required on your part. For Part 3, Decision of Member, only the first box is checked off with the option Variable Initial Engagement. The effective date is your date of enrollment, and the termination date is the date equivalent to the number of years in your contract minus 1 day. Finally, indicate the date and sign on the line above your name, member's signature. No action is required on your part for Part 4. Let's now look at the CF 2196 naming or substitution of beneficiary for supplementary death benefit. This document is used in case something happens to you. The supplementary death benefit is an amount equal to 2 years' pay and is paid to the person of your choice. You should be aware that your beneficiary must be at least 18 years of age. You can change the beneficiary's name at any time during your career. Check the following information. On page 1, your rank, your surname, your first names, your address, your service number, your email address. On page 2, check your current marital status. Then add the beneficiary information: name, first names, date of birth, family relationship, address. You don't have to write anything on page 3. Check all the information and sign on page 2 on the line for the member's signature. Now, let's review the TBS 33047 Security Screening Certificate and Briefing Form. During the processing of your file, we conducted a security check. As a result of this verification, you were granted a security clearance. Please verify that the following information is correct. In Part A, the initial briefing and reliability status boxes must be checked. Check your given names and surname. In Part B, read the briefing summary carefully to understand that you are not permitted to disclose information for any purpose other than official purposes, as this may be an offense under the Privacy Act. Your signature is required in Part C, Acknowledgement. Then, let's look at the CF 742 Emergency Contacts Notification. The purpose of this document is to identify the people to contact if you lose your life or are seriously ill or injured. Check the following information. In Section 1, Members Information: your service number, your surname, all your given names, the environment, the unit, your marital status. In Section 2A, First Person to be Notified: verify the information about the person you identify. You can name up to 3 people who must be 18 years of age or older. Please complete Section 3. Additional information if necessary. In Section 4, Annual Review, complete only the first row by printing your name and signing in the member's signature field. Now, let's look at the CF 2587 Next of Kin Identification Form. The purpose of this document is to list the people you consider to be your closest relatives, who you believe are part of your immediate family, or who are close to you. It is important to list the people who should be at your bedside if you were away and seriously injured. They must be of legal age. You can change the name of these people at any time during your career. In Section 1, Members Information, check your service number, your rank, your surname, all your given names, your marital status, your environment. Read the contents of Section 2, Benefits Information. Section 3 must be completed properly. You may name one or more next of kin. In Section 4, Certification of Completion, indicate the total number of next of kins identified, then print your name, date and sign in the member's signature field. Verification of the documents on the right side of the folder is now complete. Let's take a look at the documents on the left side. On the left side of the folder is either a declaration or a will. If it is a declaration, this indicates that A. You do not wish to make a will, or B. You already have a will, the location of which must be indicated in the box at the bottom of the page, or C. That you are a minor. Your signature is required in the bottom right-hand corner, in the specified area. If it is a will, check the following information. On page 1, check your name, service number and address. Verify the executor information and the name of the alternate executor. Verify recipient information and sections. Please initial all Z lines where applicable. Verify the recipient information, name and address. Again, please initial all Z lines where applicable. Please sign in the appropriate field. Please initial in the lower right-hand corner next to the word Canada. On page 2, check all the information and initial in the bottom right-hand corner next to the word Canada. It is important to know that it is always better to have a notarial will if you have a lot of property or if you have children or dependents. Verification of the documents in the folder is complete. Now let's look at the contents of the envelope. The first document is the CF-100 Leave Request Authorization. You have the original document. You must keep it with you as it is official proof of your membership in the Canadian Armed Forces. Please read the instructions on medical and dental care at the bottom of the page. You must bring it with you to your original assignment unit. If you have to report to a military hospital, you must have it with you. This document will indicate that you are a military. If you are on leave without pay until you leave, your salary will start on the travel day for your original posting unit. In the remarks box, you will find your Blue Cross number. It consists of your service number, except for the first letter, which is replaced by an M. You will eventually receive a Blue Cross card by mail. When you sign the enrollment documents, you become a member of the military and are subject to the rules and regulations of the Canadian Armed Forces. As a member of the military, you can no longer use your health insurance card. If you have medical or dental needs, you must go to a military hospital whenever possible. If you need to use the medical services of a civilian hospital, you must use your Blue Cross card. As a member of the military, you have free access to doctors, pharmacists, dentists, and optometrists in the military hospitals. Whether you are on leave without pay or not, if you are injured or in trouble with the law, please notify us as soon as possible. The next document is the D&D 6054 Moving Expense Claim Part 1. The Canadian Armed Forces members concerned received this form, which certifies that they are authorized to travel and allows them to obtain reimbursement of their travel expenses. You will need to keep all receipts for payments you make during your trip, except for meals. Since you will receive a per diem for your meals, you will not need to provide us with receipts. Keep this document with you at all times. Do not leave it in your luggage. When you arrive at the unit of your original posting, a clerk will complete it and reimburse you for all your authorized travel expenses. Check the information on the form. No signature is required on your part. A copy of your detailed itinerary is attached to your claim. Please review the information contained therein. You will receive an envelope which you must deliver to your unit in person. Use the form at the top of the envelope to fill in all the information requested for your trip. You will need to give the envelope to the administrative staff as soon as you arrive at the unit. As for the instruction you will soon be taking, it is important that you notify the responsible staff if your flight is ever cancelled or delayed, or if you cannot travel because you are ill or have been injured. The emergency number to call is listed in the information booklet for applicants that you received. Let's take a look at the pay table. This table shows your gross salary, all deductions, and your net salary. You'll receive a paycheck on the 15th and the last day of each month. It is important to send a sample check to your recruiting center so that your pay can be activated. Now let's see the enrollment message. This directive is sent to the unit of your initial posting and to certain other organizations to inform them of your enrollment in the Canadian Armed Forces. We'll not review the entire directive, but you will need to verify the following information. Para 1A. The service number, surname, given names, gender, first official language. Para 1B. The rank. Para 1C. Military occupational group. Para 1E. Terms of service. Para 2A. Date. Should be the date of your enrollment. Para 4A. Family status. If you have children, check information on their sex and year of birth. Para 4B. Address at time of enrollment. Para 4D. Highest level of education. The next document, the TBS 330-60 Security Clearance Form, will be used to conduct an in-depth security screening in order to grant you an appropriate security clearance if required. This document must be completed prior to your departure, and you must give it to your original assignment unit upon your arrival. Finally, there are the joining instructions. It is very important to read them, as they give you a lot of useful information related to the unit of your initial posting. We have now completed the document verification. Here is some important information to know for your next assignment. Please keep the envelope in a safe place so it does not get lost. You must bring all the documents we have given you to your original assignment unit. CF 100 Leave Requests. Authorization. D&D 1654 Moving Expense Claim Part 1. TBS 330-60 Security Clearance Form. Your original birth certificate or citizenship certificate. Your vaccination record, if you have one. This concludes the explanatory video on the documentation required for your enrollment. Your folder is now ready to be returned to your recruiting center according to the previously agreed method. Once again, congratulations on your enrollment, and I wish you the best of luck in your future career with the Canadian Armed Forces.